3 months ago, Hayden Panettiere sat down for a podcast and described exactly what she had lived through. This week, she's gone at the age of 36, and the cause has not yet been determined. What she said in May is still on the record. The warning she gave in May, in her own words, her ex pleaded no contest to 2 felony counts. The industry finally answering this week. Let's get into it and find out what else is going on.
3 months ago, Hayden Panettiere sat down for a podcast and described exactly what she had lived through. This week, she is gone at 36, and the cause has not been determined. What she said in May is still on the record. The warning she gave in May, in her own words. The conviction that was never in question. Who spoke this week and who had already spoken? Let's get into it. On the 11th of May, 3 months before she died, Hayden Panettiere read out loud from her own journal on Jay Shetty's podcast. She never named the man. She described violence that came out of nowhere and always came when he had been drinking. And then she read this. I realized that I was more afraid of being alone than being abused. That is not a celebrity confession. It is the commonest reason people stay. And from the inside, it does not feel like fear. It feels like loyalty. She was not hiding. She said it in May on a book tour, and it took until this week for most people to hear a word of it. We are not going to tell you why she died. The coroner, the official who rules on cause of death, has not determined a cause or a manner. And police have said the early investigation found no indication of foul play. That begins and ends right there. Prediction: that May episode gets shared more this month than in the month it aired. Now let's move to the second story, because while Hayden's own words are getting attention, the court record tells a very different part of this story.
Hey everyone, real quick, if you are looking to finally uncover the secret of mastering money, I put together a program that's been changing tens of thousands of people's lives, and it's for an insanely low price. Check it out. The link's down below. It's called the Money Mindset Mastery Program. Let's go from being in debt to just making money and winning every single time we make a new money decision. Let's get back to the video.
This was never an allegation. In April of 2021, her former partner, Brian Hickerson, pleaded no contest to 2 felony counts of injuring a spouse or girlfriend. No contest means he did not dispute the charges, and the court treats it as a conviction. No contest means he did not dispute the charges, and the court treats it as a conviction. Then the part almost nobody covered. On August 13th, a Los Angeles judge denied his request to knock those 2 felonies down to misdemeanors and erase them. Prosecutors fought it. The judge said no. 3 days later, she was gone. Let me be plain about that calendar. Nobody has said what caused her death, and 2 dates near each other is not evidence of anything. What the ruling tells you is that none of this was history. She put it all in her memoir. He asked her to leave that chapter out, and she published it anyway. That court file has been public since 2021, and it took a funeral to get it read. Prediction: the memoir is back on bestseller lists inside 2 weeks. Now to the third story, because after Hayden's death, the conversation shifted from what happened to her to what the entertainment industry may have done around her. She was in commercials before her first birthday and a household name in her teens. 20 years on screens in your living room. On the 17th of August, Megyn Kelly said, there were so many people who did not serve this woman well and told parents not to put a child into any industry that will make them a star as a minor. She named Justin Bieber, Selena Gomez, and Amanda Bynes. She also said she was not surprised, blamed the parents, and admitted she did not know much about Panettiere. Hold both halves of that. The warning is real and worth hearing. Hold both halves of that. The warning is real and worth hearing. Brian Fuller, Tamron Hall, and Jay Shetty, the people who were actually in the room with her, all said the same kind of thing, and not one of them tried to explain her. One correction, because it is all over your feed. That Justin Bieber statement about a system that rewarded his gift but did not protect his soul is real, and it is from Christmas Eve 8 months ago. It has nothing to do with her. Prediction: this turns into a push on legal protections for performers who are minors. People tell you what is happening to them, usually well before it is too late to hear it. She told us in May, and that recording is not going anywhere. You can go and listen to a woman explain her own life in her own voice instead of letting the rest of us explain it for her. This is Economic Ninja.